I mean, we have most of our hormones being produced in different areas of our body, and even our thyroid hormones, or our thyroid conversion, I would say, so your inactive to your active form of thyroid, 20% of that happens in your gut, not just in your thyroid gland. So there's definitely a lot of correlation. I'll put this to form that you have what we call the HPA axis, which is your hypothalamus starting from your brain, your pituitary gland going to your thyroid gland, your adrenal glands that sit right on top of your kidneys, and then going down to the reproductive area, so your gonads. That's for men and women, it's exactly the same. And you have this chemical messengers of everything in between. So if one is off, then it's going to send those signals to the brain and actually create a cycle of whatever it could be. So if it's a good cycle or a bad cycle. What I mean by that is, so most of your hormones that are created in your gut, or you have, for example, hormone-like processes happening. For example, we have leptin and ghrelin. I'm sure you've heard of them. So the hormone that tells you when you're hungry, and the hormone that tells you when you're full and that you don't need to eat anymore. When stress, sugars, refined carbohydrates, poor diet, these are all things that can interfere with those hormones and create this disruption in you actually being in tune with your body. Because remember, if you're in this stress state, your body is producing adrenaline, so immediately what that happens is your brain signals to your adrenal glands to actually produce cortisol. It stimulates cortisol to get you to combat the stressor. Obviously, it cannot understand if you're dealing with your kids, or if you're dealing with an interview you have to face, or just your day-to-day life. It's just trying to get you out of that stress state, so it's producing cortisol. And these high levels of cortisol are going to use whatever glycogen you have stored, and then it's going to demand more. So that's why you crave the sugary, fatty, salty, sweet foods, to get the instant sugar rush. And that's what creates the cycle, that people create this cycle, they spike that insulin, and then they want more. So it's always this vicious cycle that interferes with these hormones. What it can do then to other hormones is, for example, I'm going to put men and women apart really quickly. Women, I would say, are very different to men, and we have to even start to educate women on the fact that they should train differently to men. They should eat slightly differently throughout the month as opposed to men. Whether you're even perimenopausal, menopausal, or postmenopausal, it's really important. Why? Because estrogen is a really important factor for women. And not just for your reproductive cycle and menstrual cycle, but for detoxification in the body. You need that for detoxification. In fact, if you have a buildup of estrogen in the body, it creates inflammation. So what we see as well is women who are constipated, they actually usually would have a buildup of extra estrogen in the body, because your elimination process is just that. You eliminate estrogen from the body. So it can actually get backed up into the system, and then you're not eliminating properly.